Hello, boys and girls. Greg from the Scary Spirits podcast here to make you another cocktail. Today's cocktail is called the Howling Wolf, and it is the featured cocktail in today's episode. We're going to start with our glass with ice. To that, we're going to add 1/2 an ounce of vodka. Followed by 1 ounce blue curacao. And then 1/2 ounce white creme de menthe. Party. Next, Sprite. Top the glass off with Sprite. And there you have it. The Howling Wolf. Yeah, pretty good. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the podcast. See ya.
Marsha. If you're of a certain age, when you hear that, you might have flashbacks to the Brady Bunch. But on this week's episode of the Scary Spirits podcast, The Howling, we get a whole new kind of Marsha. The sexy, ambitious kind of Marsha. This Marsha, you better watch carefully, or she'll take over the pack and steal your man. And all the while, poor Karen tries her best to keep it all together and warn the masses, but things just never seem to go as planned. It all might boil down to, be careful who you trust. Cheers.
Welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and/or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So, if you're ready, let's go.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Hey, I'm Karen.
And welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast, the podcast that combines the two very different but highly compatible worlds of scary films and alcoholic spirits.
What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. How are you, Karen?
I'm fabulous. How are you, Greg?
I'm okay.
Okay, good, I guess.
Got all your Christmas shopping done, Karen?
Never. What about you?
No, Karen, I do not.
Have you started?
I have things saved to purchase online. Yes.
That's starting.
It is. I think we should talk about the contest, Karen.
I agree.
If you're listening to this on the day it goes live, which is Wednesday, December 14th.
Dun, dun, dun.
You have one more day to enter our contest or giveaway. It's not really a contest. It's a giveaway.
Yeah, it's not really a contest. You're right. It is a giveaway.
Would you like to tell everyone what we're giving away, Karen?
Well, if you're a bunch of slackers like us and you haven't bought all your Christmas presents yet, this giveaway is for you. We've got 2 excellent books that we're giving away. One on Krampus by Al Ridenauer,
Yes.
and one on an amped up spin on mixology,
Cocktails.
cocktail making, and Cincinnati lore, musical lore. Both of them very interesting and both of them excellent options for gift giving. Because who wouldn't want either one of those?
I would take either one, but of course I have them both now. So they are already in my library, Karen. So if you were thinking of getting those for me, I already have them.
Well, I can't win. I should say Kristen and Maya wrote the book about cocktails, and it is connected to one of our Wicked Ramblings. So go back and listen to that.
Yeah, and our Krampus Wicked Ramblings too, which is the most recent.
Yes, and excellent.
So to win, all you need to do is send us an email at info@scaryspirits.com. Subject contest, and put your name in the body of an email. If you win, we will be in touch. Correct, Karen?
That should be enough right there, just to hear from us during the holiday season. I mean, one, we're going to make your day because you're going to hear from us. And two, you have two excellent gifts, either for yourself or for someone else.
Yeah, or keep one, give one, whatever. Keep them both, give them both.
We won't say anything. You do whatever you want.
You do you. That's our motto here.
No judgment. So enter today, because it's pretty much your last chance.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Stop slacking and enter.
Yes, and I will say that most people do not enter these contests. So if you email us, you have an excellent chance of winning. Just so you know.
True.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know. People are weird.
Well, now if no one enters, I can't give them to you as gifts. So someone needs to enter because my plan is shot.
All right. Enough about the contest, I think.
Come on, our one listener. Get in there and do it.
All right, Karen, I believe this week was my choice. Was it not?
It was. You want to tell everybody what you chose?
I chose the 1981 film, The Howling.
Because?
Well, it's Christmas, Karen.
Merry Christmas to you.
No. So as I said just a few minutes ago, today is December 14th, Karen. That just happens to be Dee Wallace Stone's birthday, as she is known now. In this film, she was just Dee Wallace. So Dee Wallace's birthday, the main character. So happy birthday, Dee Wallace.
How old is she?
She is 73 years old, Karen.
Wow. I would have guessed younger than that.
73. She has starred in many horror films.
I like her. She's a very unique voice. Recognizable voice.
I do have a cocktail as well, Karen.
Excellent. That's how we like to do it around here. What's the cocktail?
Cocktail I have chosen is called the Howling Wolf. See what I did there, Karen?
Very clever. How do you make such a drink?
So we're going to need half an ounce of vodka, 1 ounce of blue curacao, half an ounce of white creme de menthe, and Sprite. Basically, you just pour all your spirits into a glass, add some ice, and then fill it up with Sprite.
It's a lovely blue color.
And then you enjoy, Karen.
Well, you enjoy. It's a little minty for me.
I do enjoy.
He likes it. I don't get it. It tastes like toothpaste to me. Whatever. Like I said, you do you. No judgment. But I have a hard time with it.
There's not a lot of men in it, so don't listen to her.
Nobody does.
Only a half an ounce. Hell, it's mostly Sprite.
I know, but I just, for some reason, I find it overpowering.
You think it's the blue color? It makes it look like mint toothpaste to you or something?
So it makes it look like Scope or mouthwash. And so
yes.
I don't think so. I just think I don't like mint in a drink, which is weird because I don't mind mint in other things, but.
Okay. Well, let's give our listener time to make their cocktail. While they're making their cocktail, they can send us an email at info@scaryspirits.com and put contest in the subject line and include their name.
Yeah, because, they're pausing anyway. So.
Yeah. Hold on. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
All right, Karen. Might you have a brief synopsis of this film?
I do.
Go on. Tell me a story. Tell me a story all about Karen.
In Los Angeles, television journalist Karen White is traumatized in the course of aiding the police in their arrest of a serial murderer. Her doctor recommends that she attend an isolated psychiatric retreat led by Dr. George Waggner, who is her doctor. But while Karen is undergoing therapy, her colleague Chris investigates the bizarre circumstances surrounding her shock. When his work leads him to suspect the supernatural, he begins to fear for Karen's life.
Mostly accurate.
Yeah, it's a little weird at the end there.
I feel sorry for poor Terry. She's not mentioned at all.
Well, neither is it
Bill?
Bill.
Well, I could have said Karen. I picked this film because the main character is named Karen.
You could have. Yeah, it's interesting to hear your name shouted over and over in a movie.
As a matter of fact, I just heard my name over and over again last night on American Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because one of the gay neighbors is named Greg. Oh, yeah, Greg. All right. Are you ready to get into it, Karen?
Yes, let's.
The Howling from 1981. Rated R. Karen, did you watch this on Amazon Prime?
I did.
I do have the DVD, but I watched it on Amazon anyway.
Really? I'll tell you what, though, my computer is getting very old. And so when I was trying to watch it, the picture didn't come up. So I saw rated R and I'm like, ooh, creepy music. Oh, wolf howling, darkness. And then it kept going. And I'm thinking, this is really weird. So I had to switch computers and start over. It does not start out in darkness. So go ahead.
No,
I thought, wow, that's an interesting choice.
And then we have credits. Just that shit with lots of shit going on in the background. I tried to pay attention, but it was just like too much.
Yeah, it was like people talking on the TV about victims and killings and
like somebody channel surfing and just channel after just different.
While the credits are rolling, so we don't really see anything.
But then the film starts, and we're at a TV studio, and Dr. Waggner, who you mentioned in your synopsis, Karen, is on the TV, and he's talking about
animal magnetism.
Yeah. And at one point he says, try to deny the beast, the animal within us. Next we see Karen, right? Go into a payphone.
Well, they do mention that the doctor has been coaching her on how to talk to the psycho. So yeah, yes. She's walking down an alley and she's the TV lady.
Yeah, and she's wearing a wire, I guess, as they say, Karen, so that police can keep track of her and hear what's going on, even though their reception is really shitty.
You would think this whole part bothered me, but we can get into it after a bit. So there's a smiley face sticker in the phone booth.
Yes.
She goes in the phone booth and she waits for a call, and she's mic'd up.
Waiting on a call from Eddie.
Yeah, and she's going to transmit as soon as Eddie calls. But as you said, there's lots of interference.
And at one point she says, there's a man standing outside the phone booth. I don't know if it's him or not. It was not him, Carrie. You know who that man was?
No.
It was Roger Corman.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we cut back to the studio.
So where are these policemen?
Yeah, they're in this. I think they're in the studio someplace. They're in the same building as they are recording this TV show.
Okay. So they're
Bill's
in the studio.
there. Bill's there, and Terry's there, and Chris is there, and everyone's there, right?
Well, yeah. So there's two policemen, Terry and Chris, who are reporters, and Bill, who is Karen's husband. Now, before we go any further, she's mic'd up. This is some very dangerous person she's about to meet, right?
Yes.
Do you think they might have, I don't know, done a run through first? Because immediately they lose all contact with her. They don't know where she is or what she's doing or anything, because they're in the seedy part of town and all the neon is interfering with the transmission. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea, but you would think that they would have stationed people close to her if they knew, like what they just let her. There's nobody.
They know where she's going. They know the phone booth she's going to, I assume.
But there's nobody around her. They have to radio some people.
I know.
Anyway, I just thought shoddy police work is all I'm going to say.
So we meet Bill, her husband, right? And we learn that he went to Stanford, Karen. Did you catch that?
Yes, he was a football player there.
He was knocked down Neil. I know who you are. Is that a fictional character, Karen?
Yes.
Or as you know?
As far as I know. But I wasn't at Stanford in 1981. So
You weren't.
Or before.
Okay. But they try to assure, the police try to assure Bill that, we'll find her.
And Karen doesn't know that she's not transmitting. She thinks everything's fine.
She just keeps talking because it's not like a two-way thing. It's a one-way thing, right?
Yes.
So apparently Eddie tells Karen he wants to meet her at some pornographic store. And apparently there are these stores that have like pornographic books and stuff in them. And then you can go in the back and watch movies, Karen, in your own little private stall.
Ugh, can you imagine sitting in one of those?
I cannot.
No.
But Karen does.
She does.
And she kind of clears the place when she walks in, too. Because she looks everyone right in the eye as she's walking around. And the men looking at their porn do not like that. And they leave.
I guess that's bad form in the porn shop.
Yes, it's like.
You always avert your eyes.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It's like going to the men's room.
Okay.
No, so she's watching the movie. And we learn that Eddie is in there. And then we see two bare breasts. Karen, two bare breasts on the film there. Two bare breasts. He
drops coins. He does it. He drops coins. Yeah. Oh. You see his hand drops coins in the slot and the porn film comes on. And yes, you get your two bare breasts.
Did you make a note of how many coins he put in there?
I did not, but it was coins.
I think it said 35 cents. Is that right?
I have no idea. Do you know what video they were watching?
I do not. Do you?
I don't know. I didn't
recognize it.
Didn't know if it was made for the movie or, which kind of is sort of like Werewolf in London. Isn't there some porn stuff in that too?
Which came out the same year.
So did they? Oh, so they couldn't have stolen from each other. They just kind of both went in the same direction then. Yep. Interesting.
Actually, this was in the credits. It said copyright 1980, but it was released in 81.
To be clear, there was a smiley face sticker in the phone booth, and then there's a door. There's multiple doors that you can go in and sit and watch the movie, and the one that she goes into has a smiley face sticker on it.
Apparently that is Eddie's calling card or something.
Yes.
So the police start looking for Karen. Oh, she's wearing a purple dress. Oh, we'll see her. We'll see her.
They do know the approximate area she's in, and they talk to a prostitute who just gave Karen directions to the porn shop. So they're close.
The Howling did come out about, 5 months or so, 3 or 4 months, I guess, before An American Werewolf in London, but whatever.
Just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even make the connection. So then we see Eddie talking to Karen.
Behind her.
Yeah.
He puts his hands on her shoulders and he's behind her and talks to her.
And apparently there's a light behind him, so if she turns around, she can't really see what he looks like. And
it's the projection
his voice
light.
Does change, though.
Yes. It's the projection light.
Okay,
but he says he's talking to her. He says she's different. He likes to watch her on TV. And he knows how good he can make her feel. He's going to light up her whole body.
Yes.
And he does tell her to turn around, and that's when his voice changes, but she can't see anything because he's backlit by the projector and she's kind of blinded by that bright light.
Police arrive.
She's screaming, so they know where she is now.
They just start open firing on the door.
Yeah, which they could have killed her.
Yeah, they could have. And we see blood under the door. And apparently the guy who shoots is a rookie cop, and his partner is like, oh my God. Here we go.
Ready to go. Quick draw, McGraw.
Yeah.
But the police and Bill escort her out, and she's looking a little out of sorts. She can't remember what happened. She remembers going in.
And they say they're not going to record her that night. They're going to give her a break and whatever. But she says she can't remember. She can't remember what happened.
Yeah, they're trying to get a statement kind of from her, but she doesn't know anything.
Next, we see her at home sleeping on a couch. She's having a nightmare. Flashbacks. And she still wakes up saying, I didn't see him. I couldn't see him or whatever, right?
Yeah. And they hug. Bill's there. They hug. He's comforting to her. They seem like they're, a happy couple for now.
Isn't that the way it always is, Karen? They're happy for now.
It's all you can ask for.
So next, Chris and Terry, the investigative reporters, find Eddie's apartment. A dog jumps at the window, Karen, and we have a little jump scare there, I think. There's lots of drawings in the apartment, including one of Karen and lots of hairy people, I wrote, yeah. Karen.
And one looks like Karen with hair like that. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. So they take the pictures to Dr. Waggner.
And he, I wrote, is a complete knockoff of Anthony Hopkins, don't you think?
I don't know.
Anthony Hopkins could have just slid right in that role. His behaviors and his cadence and his accent and everything.
Well, he's a very famous character actor himself, the guy who plays Dr. Waggner. I've seen him in lots of things.
Reminds me of Anthony Hopkins.
And apparently Eddie, signs his work, so now they know his last name.
Which the doctor seemed a little surprised by that.
Quist. Eddie Quist. Next we see Karen and Bill in bed, Karen.
She's not quite ready. She still remembers Eddie. Look like
Bill's in the mood for love, but she is not.
She was just traumatized. They look like the golden couple, though, don't they? Blonde and pretty, and they're both good looking and tan and blonde. So good looking couple.
I guess we cut to the next day, and I guess the 6 o'clock news or whatever. What time does the news come on in California, Karen?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 6 o'clock news, I guess. And it is Channel 6 in LA.
And she's going to go on TV and talk about her experience.
But she freezes, Karen, and starts having flashbacks as she stares into the camera.
She turns immediately into Cindy Brady. Remember that? When she was on the quiz show or something, all she could do was stare at the camera.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she looked like.
So they take Karen off set. For our listeners who drink every time I say Karen, boy, this is going to be a good one.
That's true. But her boss is kind of a dick, and he's on the phone and he says, I don't know what happened out there. Maybe she's pregnant. It's like she was just traumatized, but he's just not supportive at all.
And they start playing one of his editorials, right?
Yes.
And he said now that's a professional.
Yes.
About himself. So then we see Karen at Dr. Waggner's office talking about what happened. Dr. Waggner wants her and her husband to go to...
Well, wait, before that, he keeps asking her, what do you remember? What do you remember? What do you remember? And this is where I started to think, because I haven't seen this movie before. And we usually ask that at the beginning. I know you have, correct? Oh, you haven't. You just had the DVD. This is where I started to suspect him, because he kind of started wanting to know, what did you see? What do you remember? And then he was really kind of hounding her. And then she keeps saying she doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, I started to suspect him too.
But she says she remembers little pieces in her dreams. And that's when he recommends she go to the colony. He only recommends it to very special patients.
Yes, very special. So then we're at the colony, Karen. Apparently it's a beach party bingo or whatever they're doing.
Yeah,
there.
I was surprised that Bill was going with her. I thought she would go alone. She says in the car when they're driving up there, I hope that people aren't too weird. And I wrote, cut to the weird people.
Yes, exactly.
They're playing music on the beach and they're having a barbecue. Yeah, it's a barbecue. Meet and greet.
Learned several times that Bill tries to stay away from meat, Karen.
Yes, he's a fitness buff.
Yeah, apparently he runs a gym or some shit, right?
Yeah.
He says he's in the hardware, which is like dumbbells and stuff. But several people recognize Karen from the TV. We meet all the people with the colony, and then Dr. Waggner's there.
And we also meet Marcia. Marcia. That's two Brady Bunch references. She is seductive. And she's looking at Bill like he's a piece of meat.
Apparently she's a nymphomaniac, Karen. That's what they say. Dr. Waggner and Marcia have a little confrontation there about his book, too.
Yeah, she doesn't want her brother reading it.
And he's a piece of work. I don't
the
even
brother,
think we ever hear his name.
TC or something like that. And he's eyeballing Karen.
Oh, so it's Marcia Quist, Eddie Quist. Yeah, TC Quist.
And we meet Earl, who's played by John Carradine, another famous character actor. And he wants to burn himself up, Karen.
He's ready to end it all.
But Dr. Waggner, tells him to get a good night's sleep and everything will seem better in the light of day. Then we see lots of Froggy's fog in the forest, Karen.
The forest that they're in is
Yes.
it's coastal redwoods. And the fog is actually natural in that situation. But let me tell you all about coastal redwoods. Because I had those. That's where I lived in California. I had those on my property. The coastal redwoods follow the fog and grow best at less than 2,000 feet elevation in areas of heavy winter rains and moderate year-round temperatures. They are the world's tallest living things. Some of them tower over 360 feet. Some of the trees are 600 to 1,200 years old, and some
That's almost the same height as the Eiffel Tower in Kings Island, Karen.
600 to 1,200 years old, and some have lived more than 2,000 years. That's my old home in California. But the fog is, I'm sure they added some, but that's a natural thing that would happen in the redwoods.
So we see Karen sleeping and she dreams about Eddie. Karen goes to the window. She hears howling and she wakes up Bill.
She tried to wake him up first. I wondered if the punch had maybe a little something in it that knocked him out. But she looks out the window. There's no screen. It's just open. I'm like, close the window. Like, why wouldn't you close the window? She doesn't. But he tells her it's the wind and to relax. You city girl, you're not used to these country.
Yeah, animals everywhere. Then we see Karen and she's stoking the fire.
Which is weird because the windows are open. But okay, close the windows.
And we see something approaching from outside. Karen goes out to investigate.
With a flashlight and her slippers
one of the
and
ones
bathrobe.
that takes like 6D cell batteries, one of the big, long police flashlights. But we see a man in the woods, and apparently that's TC, right? That's his name, TC? I didn't know his name. TC. Yeah. TC Quist.
She's hearing growling and
he's watching her.
But she finds something outside. What was on the bush? Was it lace or something?
Yeah, something. I don't know what it was. Piece of cloth. Then Sam, the sheriff, arrives, Karen.
Yeah, because she's playing tennis with her new friend. What's her name?
Donna.
They're playing tennis, and Karen apparently called the police because she heard something outside her bungalow, they call it. And the policeman shows up.
Played by Slim Pickens.
Sam is his name, right?
Yes, Sam.
But he says it's coyotes.
Next we see Chris and Terry, investigative reporters, at the morgue.
Yeah, they want to see Eddie's body.
They ask him about tattoos, too.
Yeah, because there's a tattoo on his shoulder, apparently.
So they go to get Eddie out of the cooler, and he gone.
Like, not there anymore.
Yes, he's missing.
And the door to the morgue drawer, what do they call that? The morgue drawer?
I guess.
Is all beat up. It's beat to shit. Like, we know he got out. They don't pay really that much attention to it. Chris says, do you think someone stole him? And the coroner says, well, he didn't get up and walk out of here on his own. But we know better.
So next we see Karen and Donna. They're in the woods in the dark for some reason, Karen.
But they hear cows.
And they hear sounds. Well, Donna says it's cows. There's a pasture, a 2-acre pasture of cows. But Donna does go get her husband's gun, and they go to investigate. And they find a dead cow. Then Sam comes up and startles them.
Because their flashlight goes out.
Yes.
Of course.
And he says there's another mauled cattle as well.
Yeah, up the hill. Yeah. They say that's not a coyote. And so they think it might be a wolf.
Next day, Bill and the boys going on a wolf hunt while Karen's in group therapy with Dr. Waggner. She says she still can't see him. Eddie, she means.
But she's having a flashback and we're watching it. And she sees the coins go in the slot. The movie starts. She sees that again. And he whispers something to her, but she doesn't know what it was, tells her to turn around. We relive the whole thing and she still can't see him.
Cut to the boys hunting. Bill shoots something and kills it. I didn't know what it was at first, but apparently it is a rabbit.
Big one.
And we cut to a bookstore where Dick Miller works. And his character's name is Walter Paisley, Karen.
Again?
Again. This is one of his Walter Paisley roles. But he kind of has like an
occult bookstore, kind of.
Shop of curiosities and things like that. He's got black candles and whatnot, right?
Yeah, it's an occult store, but mostly a bookstore, but he has other, I don't want to say trinkets, but other accessories.
And Chris and Terry, the investigative reporters, are there, and they're looking at books. Getting books about werewolves, Karen.
Well, first they wanted to read a book about body snatchers, like who would steal a body from the morgue. But Terry happens to pick up a book about demons, werewolves, and something else, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Warlocks.
Sorry.
Yeah. And they buy those books. Chris jokes, well, let's see if any of the guys' murders were during a full moon. And the bookstore owner says, I guess Walter says, that's bullshit. That's just Hollywood stuff. They can change anytime they want, night or day. That's why they're called shapeshifters. He's got dozens of books on it. And the only way to kill them is with silver bullets or fire. He calls them cockroaches. They come back from the dead if you don't kill them. Plus, they regenerate if you cut off an arm or a leg or put a knife in a heart. Doesn't do anything. He says they might look dead, but 3 days later, they look good as new. They buy the 2 books, so they have the information.
Karen, do you have all your holiday shopping finished?
Not even close, Greg. Do you?
Come on, Karen, not yet. But I've got something that might help all the listeners out there who are slackers like us.
What's that?
We're doing a giveaway of 2 books that would make excellent holiday gifts. The Krampus, The Old Dark Christmas, Roots and Rebirth of the Folkloric Devil by Al Ridenour, and Rock Tales, an amped up spin on mixology by Kristen Kreft and Maya Banatawala.
And the amped up spin on mixology is a hardcover and a signed copy. How cool is that?
To win, just email your name to info@scaryspirits.com and put contest in the subject line.
That's it. Just email your name to info@scaryspirits.com by December 15th.
See how helpful we are?
Very helpful. We're giving like that. Holiday shopping? Done.
Yes. Cut back to the colony, Karen. Bill's going to take his rabbit that he shot to Marcia to cook. TC says she loves to cook.
Well, and he convinces him by saying it's a sin to kill something you don't want to eat.
It's true.
And Bill buys into that argument and takes the rabbit up to Marcia.
Yeah, and Marcia tries to seduce Bill, but he resists and leaves. Then we have a shot of the full moon.
Yes, after we just had that scene where a full moon doesn't mean anything,
no.
We get a shot of a full moon.
It's almost full. I don't think it's quite full, but we see Bill walking through the woods back to his cabin, I guess, and we hear howling. Bill is attacked, and apparently he's bitten on the arm.
I wrote, he's going to want meat now.
And the beast disappears. See Bill being treated by Dr. Waggner. Doctor says he was bitten.
By one big ass needle. Did you see that needle?
Mm-hmm.
It's about 6 inches long.
Yeah, it was a big one. Were you okay, Karen?
Not really, no. Karen wants to go home. She's done. She's like, this is enough. But the doctor's like, no, not with this bite. These can be tricky.
But Karen calls Terry the next day and tells her that Bill was bitten by a wolf, and Terry agrees to come to the colony to hang out with her buddy Karen.
But just Terry goes up because Chris is what's he gonna do? Stay behind and pitch an idea to the...
Yeah, he's gonna stay behind and watch wolf cartoons, Karen. That's what he's gonna do.
He's gonna pitch an idea to the old man is what he says. But Karen's happy to see Terry when she shows up, and they catch up and they do talk shit about Marcia.
And I guess Terry brings them food, and she apologized to Bill that, she forgot he doesn't like meat, but he's over there eating the meat just fine, Karen.
It's
like,
terrific.
No, I'll eat almost anything.
He eats meat now because it's terrific.
All right. Karen and Bill go to bed. Again, Karen dreams.
Well, she tries to,
A lot about the same shit, but this time Bill is included, Karen.
But she wants to make love, and he says, no, the shots were a lot. And she gets upset because they're out of sync.
Yes.
And then she wakes up, and what's missing?
He gone.
Bill's missing.
Bill's missing.
He's walking through the forest in his bathrobe.
Yeah, walking in the woods. He meets Marcia by the fire.
Yeah, there's just a fire there.
Campfire, Karen. And then we see 2 more bare breasts, Karen, as Marcia disrobes.
Yeah, we see everything on Marcia. Frontal nudity.
Yes. And then Bill and Marcia kissy face. And wolves howl, Karen.
Yes, they do. Enough to wake up Terry, who records it on her cassette player.
Okay. Then Bill and Marcia again, and they turn, Karen.
Well, she licks his bite first, and then they turn.
It looked like it was kind of healed. Yeah, and then they turn.
Lots of snarling.
Yes, lots of snarling and long teeth. And then Dr. Waggner, we see Dr. Waggner, and he hears them too, and he goes to the window to listen. At this point, I wasn't sure if he was all in or not, you know? He had this quizzical look on his face.
Yeah, he didn't smile or anything, which would have given it away. He's just...
Yeah. And then we have some cheesy computer-generated silhouettes by the fire, Karen.
Yeah, they did not look good.
No.
But Marcia does scratch Bill's back.
She does.
Which is going to get him trouble later.
Cut to the next day, and Terry is on the beach listening to the cassette and taking notes. Bill comes back to the cabin.
Terry realizes the drawing that was at Eddie's house is the same place where she's sitting.
And we hear organ music as she discovers that I wrote.
Yes, that was weird, but I wrote the same organ music.
And we see Terry walking through the forest. Lots of that natural redwood fog again, Karen.
Yes.
And she hears someone whisper her name.
And then it's dark all of a sudden in the trees.
Terry finds a cabin, and there are animal pelts and bones everywhere. She goes in to investigate. Did you notice the can of wolf chili?
I did. I said product placement.
And Terry looks around. She finds a drawing of a woman and takes pictures of it, as well as the smiley face sticker, Karen.
She does see the smiley face sticker. So she's taking pictures around the cabin of everything that she sees, kind of.
And she finds a room very similar to Eddie's apartment.
Yes.
I wrote. And she starts taking pictures. And then a beast comes after her. She escapes through a window and grabs a hatchet.
She falls out the window, and there's the hatchet right there.
Yep.
In a piece of wood.
She grabs it. The beast tries to grab her through the wall. Right? He busts through the wall and tries to grab her.
I think she's under the stairs, and there's a wall there. It's
okay
because she can run out from.
Gotcha.
You know, like it's the stairwell, and there's
like the porch or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. She uses the hatchet and hacks off its arm. And then we see the hand continuing to move, and it turns into a human hand, which I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought this is going on for quite a while because it stayed alive. It was twitching, and then, it's turning into a human hand. I get it.
And Terry runs away.
And she was holding her arm. I thought maybe she was bitten, but I don't think she was. I think that's because she fell out of the window.
Well, I think she got grabbed on her arm, too, by the claws.
Oh.
Terry runs to Dr. Waggner's office and calls Chris. And while we're in there, we see a picture, like an autographed picture of Lon Chaney Jr.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the cassette recorder in a beast hand.
She's talking to Christopher and telling him the story of what's happening.
As he watches wolf cartoons.
Yes. And then we cut to Bill and Karen again.
Karen sees the scratches on Bill's back and confronts him about it. They argue, and Bill bitch slaps her.
Well, he tells her she's getting paranoid because it was from the attack. He's totally busted. He tries to, he's gaslighting her. He's telling her she's getting paranoid. It happened during the attack, but she knows it's Marcia.
Mm-hmm.
They argue. He tells her, it's a big conspiracy and it's fake news. And when she calls Marcia a bitch in heat is when he hits her. She walks by you like a bitch in heat. And he just hauls off and smacks her. And she's like, don't touch me, which I totally agree with. Get him the fuck out of there. Like, that's no. So she runs to the office, to the doc's office, to call Chris to come and get them.
Her and Terry.
Yes.
As she's leaving, Bill says, you don't know what it's like. And she says she doesn't want to know, which I thought was interesting. Whatever. So then we see Terry
talking. She's still talking to Christopher on the phone. Yeah.
About Eddie. And Chris
she tells him the landscape picture that they saw at the apartment is at the colony.
Yeah. Chris tells Terry there's a file cabinet to look up last name Quist, right? Any patients with the last name Quist. So she does, and she finds several. And as she pulls out Eddie's folder, a werewolf grabs the file from her and attacks her.
And Chris can hear all this because she doesn't hang up the phone.
But he hangs up and calls the police.
Which, would that work? If the other person didn't hang up?
Yeah, I guess.
But they fight for a while, Terry and the werewolf.
Chris calls Sam. Sam tells him he's sure she's safe, but he'll go check it out. Whatever.
She ain't safe.
No. The wolf bites Terry in the jugular. She gone.
I think I had those sneakers. Because he lifts her up and we see her feet dangling. So he's got her by the neck.
Yeah.
And you can kind of hear bones cracking and stuff.
Next, we see Chris buying the silver bullets from the bookstore, which we saw earlier but didn't talk about.
Well, part of the occult accessories.
So Karen gets to Dr. Wagner's office and she finds the body of Terry. She tries to call for help. Eddie is there as Eddie.
Half Eddie. Well, yeah. I guess he's sort of half changed.
He's got a bullet hole in the head.
He says he wanted to see her again and she says, I saw you die. And he says, you wanted to get to know me. Well, here I am. And he wants to give her a piece of his mind. So he does. He rips it out of his head, basically.
And he turns. As Karen watches, for a long time he turns and Karen just stands there and watches.
I know, stares at him. They're both frozen in time. He does the Hulk thing with the shirt and all kinds of skin bubbling, huge eyes, ears coming out, a very long scene of transformation. And she just stands there.
It's good, but
transformation's
standing good, there. Eventually she feels some acid or a bottle of something. I don't know that she knows what it is, but apparently it's acid, Karen.
Which you don't just keep sitting around, but whatever.
And she throws it on Eddie and she runs away. She tries to get in the car and escape, but is grabbed by a couple of the other people from the colony.
We do see Chris stop for gas. And I thought he just needed gas for the car, but I realized later he's getting a can of gas.
True. I hadn't thought of that either.
But he's like, hurry up, it's an emergency. And nobody hurries up.
Well, he says, I work for a living. I can't afford a Mazda.
Yeah. I didn't see how much gas was. Did you?
Did not notice. So they take Karen to a barn.
And the pack is all there.
And the body of Terry, right? Because there's a body on the table.
Is her head on a stick?
I don't think so.
There was like a head separated, but I couldn't tell. And
her body looked complete, except it was like you could see her ribs and stuff. It had been mauled. And Dr. Waggner is there as well. So apparently he's in on it, Karen. But we see Chris on his way in his Mazda. What do you think it is, Karen? An RX-7?
I have no idea.
Just guessing. What do you think it is, Karen? A 1980 RX-7, something like that?
Oh, crap.
79,
is it?
78. I have no idea. I'm just throwing it out there.
Don't know.
Maybe our listener knows.
It's white. That's all I knew.
White with the flip-up headlights.
That was so cool back in the day.
So Dr. Waggner and the people at the colony try to get Karen to become one of them. Willingly, I guess. Earl is all, get off my lawn.
He is. They start an argument.
Back in my day.
We just raised cows and ate cows.
I thought he said humans were prey back in his day. I thought he didn't like raising cattle. I thought he liked killing people.
I don't know.
But this is as good a point as any. Why her? Do they ever tell us why? Is it just because Eddie thought she was cute on TV? Or does she have some family line somehow?
I don't know, Karen. Maybe in a sequel we learn.
Oh, I just wondered why they picked her and were so adamant that she become a member of this group.
Idea.
Is it because she was prominent, maybe? And they were trying to fit in? So she would protect them or something? I don't know. I couldn't figure that out, what the deal was there. But yeah, they start to argue. Some people want it the old way where they killed the humans. The doctor wants to intermingle with humans and coexist.
And then Marcia confronts Dr. Waggner again.
Yeah, Marcia's about to be in charge, I think.
Yeah, she's ready to overthrow. She wants to be the leader of the pack.
They don't want to just change with society and intermingle.
No. Then Chris arrives.
With a shotgun.
Well, it's not a shotgun, Karen.
Oh, what is it?
It's a rifle with silver bullets.
Yeah, because he preloaded it with a lot of bullets.
Yes. It's like an M1, something like that.
A gun.
Patients at the colony turn on Dr. Waggner. Chris goes to Dr. Wagner's office. The cassette tape is running. And we hear Dr. Waggner talking about lycanthropy. And Chris finds the files that Terry was looking for. Eddie is there and he confronts Chris. Eddie takes the gun from him.
Easily.
As they listen to the tape of Eddie attacking Terry. Apparently, Eddie pressed the record button. Then Eddie gives Chris the gun back and dares him to shoot him.
Yeah, he doesn't know about the silver bullets, obviously.
And Chris shoots him and he gone.
That's the end of that.
Silver bullets. Dumbass.
Call it a gift, he says, because he doesn't know about the bullets. And he's laughing like he's going to kill him, but that doesn't happen.
Chris finds the others at the barn just as they are about to take Karen away.
Somewhere.
Yeah. They're going to burn her? Did they say something about burning her?
I don't know, because they were arguing that she's so prominent. I know. She can't just disappear because people know her. They'll look for her. So they were going to put her in a car with her friend, set it on fire and push it off a cliff like it was an accident.
Okay.
Which again, why did they want her to turn in the first place? They're just going to kill her. I don't understand.
I don't know. I think Dr. Waggner wanted her for some reason. He seems to be running things. Because he even says, it was her that they wanted, but they got Bill first. Bill was going to turn her and all that stuff or whatever. So they confront Chris and tell him that the gun won't do any good. And he's like, okay. He starts shooting them with silver bullets and they start dropping. He shoots the doctor. And the doctor says, thank God. Doctor's happy.
He was done. He wanted to die. But Marcia, on the other hand, is not happy.
No, they all begin to turn. And Karen and Chris lock them in the barn. And Chris begins pouring gasoline all over the barn and lights it on fire.
It goes up like a matchstick, man. It's on fire.
It's barnwood. The werewolves try to free themselves from the barn. They're busting through the walls.
Which seems like they could have.
Oh, yeah,
they only set the one side on fire.
Yeah, I could bust through a barn wall, Karen.
Well, yeah, especially if it was on fire and you had to get out.
Chris and Karen get in the car to drive away, and one of the wolves attacks them. Chris shoots it with the silver bullet, and they drive away. Next, we see Sam, and he's got a roadblock set up.
Karen says, "Oh, stop. It's Sam."
And Sam's got long teeth now, Karen.
Yes, he does. So they have a bit of a shootout.
And he has his rifle pointed at them. He shoots at them. Chris shoots Sam with the silver bullet. He gone. And Chris and Karen jump out of the car just as it explodes. Their Mazda explodes.
Someone says, I think it's Karen, "I smell gas. Get out of the car." And they do, and it blows up. And they get in the police car. But the police car won't start.
Police car won't start. And they're surrounded by werewolves.
She keeps taking the gun from him, but then can't do anything. Like, she won't shoot. She just screams. I'm like, don't take the gun unless you're going to shoot it. She was frustrating me.
Eventually, the car starts and they drive away, but one of the wolves bites Karen and she shoots it with the silver bullet.
Finally, yes.
Then we see the wolf in the back seat turns back into Bill, Karen.
It was Bill.
Bill. Karen tells Chris they need to warn everybody about this shit. Right, cut to 6 o'clock news, Karen.
There's a story about an uncontrolled fire up on the coast at the colony, they say. Lots of bodies there.
Talking about the colony. And then they say, and here's our Karen, who was first eyewitness, whatever. And Karen goes off script, Karen. She is not reading her teleprompter.
No, she is not.
And then she begins to turn into a werewolf on live television.
She looks like a teddy bear, though. Her werewolf was not ferocious.
We have a montage of people watching the television, talking about it. Ooh, cool. What is this? Whatever. Karen turns and I wrote, she looks like a Wookiee.
Same thing.
She looks
sort
like a
of.
Wookiee.
She didn't look as terrifying as the other ones.
No. Chris shoots her with the silver bullets. Then the director cuts to a dog food commercial.
I thought that was pretty good. And then we see people talking about it.
Yeah, people in a bar discussing the television program. And
some say it was special effects.
And the other guy says, nope,
real.
That was real. She turned into a werewolf and he shot her. And the man at the end of the bar is ordering a pepper steak and wants a burger for the lady next to him. And they ask how she wants her burger. And we see it's Marcia. And she says she would like it rare, Karen.
Yes.
Credits. The end. Did you watch the credits all the way through, Karen?
I did not.
Did you see the after scene, Karen?
No, there's an after scene. Damn it.
Yeah, it's a scene from the Wolfman.
Which one?
The Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman. When the gypsy is telling him to, God be with you or something like that. Whatever. I don't know.
Watch it all the way to the end. I did not.
All right, Karen. Anything you really enjoyed in this film?
Transformation was pretty good.
It's very good.
Long, but I get it. They're trying to show all the special effects. But like you said, she's just standing there and it seemed like it was 5 minutes long. Like at some point, he's just standing there changing and she's just standing there watching it. But it was very good.
And Rick Baker was the original special effects guy on this film. And then he left it to do An American Werewolf in London.
Oh, before it was finished, or he did
but
this
it was one of his assistants or something that, he still has a credit as supervising the special effects, but he's not the special effects artist. You know what I mean?
I would say American Werewolf in London effects were a little better.
They are better.
The transformation, but this was pretty good.
This one is pretty good. It's just long.
Yes. But lots of bubbling under the skin, and the snout growing is my favorite part, where the snout grows. I thought that was pretty good. So I liked that. I liked her, I think
Dee Wallace.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not really. I think if I'd seen it in 1981, I probably would have really liked it. But we've seen so many werewolf movies at this point that it's good, but I liked American Werewolf in London better.
Yeah. Well, this one came out first, so you probably would have seen this one and said, wow, that was good. And then seen American Werewolf in London 4 months later and go, wow.
That was better.
That was better.
Yeah. It's good. There isn't anything. The next question is what I didn't like. I don't really think there's anything I didn't like particularly.
There was lots of Easter eggs in it.
Lots of wolf stuff. At one point they were watching the Wolfman because the gypsy was on there, and they do that quote with any man can turn or whatever.
Apparently see the wolf chili twice. I only saw it once, but apparently Chris is eating it at one point.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw it, and I saw the wolf cartoon and the dog, and there were lots of
cameos in it too.
Lots of famous people in it. Terry looked familiar to me too, the female reporter, but I couldn't remember who she was. But
she did not, but Chris did. She was one of the only people who didn't really look familiar to me. I recognized Dr. Waggner. I recognized Chris, Earl, Sam. Donna looked familiar too. She kind of reminded that girl who played Donna. even though it's not her, reminded me of the girl who was in Fright Night way back when,
Oh, I didn't really.
back in the
Yeah.
80s. But it wasn't her.
So what did you like about it?
I liked all the Easter eggs. I thought the transformation was good, but that's also what I didn't like about it. It was too fucking long.
Yeah, but they had to show. I
And
mean,
I
they
don't know
had
if I didn't like it because it was too long or because she just stood there and watched it.
right. I'm like, move, move. This is your moment.
The scene with Marcia and Bill when they became cartoons at the end.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But that's what you didn't like
I
about
think
it.
I'd have skipped that. I wouldn't have even.
Yeah, put it in there. I would have taken it out too.
Yeah,
where they did animation or
Yeah,
something.
I read they ran out of money or something, but
They didn't need it.
you don't need it.
No, we'd already seen what we needed to see.
Yeah.
They had transformed,
We
and
knew what they were.
yeah,
What they were.
yeah, I would have left that out too.
I didn't care for Karen at the end when she turned. Like I said,
She looked
like
a little
Wookiee.
fuzzy. Yeah, she looked a little bit like a teddy bear. She didn't look like a menacing
Or an
wolf.
Ewok. She probably looked more like an Ewok.
That's
than a
what it
Wookiee.
is. Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think I would have liked it, like I said, a lot more if I hadn't seen American Werewolf in London. Because this, I was like,
This did really well.
It's good. And there's nothing that I really hate. I mean, I nitpicked the little things I didn't like, but.
Did you like that there was Marcia at the end and there was sequel?
Well,
potential?
I do like sequel potential. And she's not going to be the.
There are like 8 of them. Well,
are there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is Marcia in the next one?
Don't know.
Because that's the only reason I would like
the Wolf
that.
Moon is coming up in January, Karen. Maybe we'll find out. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think it's good.
What kind of cocktail rating you want to give it, Karen?
It's a tough one. I think it's a 3 because we probably gave American Werewolf in London a 2, right?
Yeah. Episode 40, Karen. We gave it a 2.
Yeah. So this one's not as good as that. So
no, it's not.
This one gets a 3.
Okay. How do you like your drink, Karen? The Howling Wolf, the minty fresh Howling Wolf.
I do not like it. I'm sorry.
I like it. I think
if you like mint, you'll like it.
It's not heavy mint.
So you say.
It's not. It's half an ounce of mint.
I know, and I even filled it up with 7-Up, but it's just not for me.
Maybe you should use Sprite.
Maybe that was my big error.
Anything we learned today?
Just about coastal redwoods.
Coastal redwoods.
It's some Star Wars references.
Got my Star Wars references and
Brady Bunch references.
Yep, Brady Bunch. Even beyond Marcia.
I do have a question though for you. At one point when Eddie was in the office, when he's confronting Terry, he kind of looks like the Eddie from all the Iron Maiden things. Don't you think? He was kind of like half.
Not so much.
No, that's what it reminded me of. I just wondered if that's why they named him that, because he looked a little.
He looked kind of similar to the Eddie on the X Factor album cover. I'll give you that, but
I don't know. Just that's what it reminded me of. And
it's like the only one that's not like a painting or a drawing. It's like they made a monster, and you know what I mean, and it kind of resembles him there.
I just wondered if that's why they named him in the movie, because
Eddie.
Yeah, if it was some homage, probably not. But that's just what it reminded me of, with the name and the look of. He was kind of in the dark, so it was hard for me to see. But the silhouette with the hair and the hat, that's what it made me think of.
Is that it? All we learned today? Nothing else?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I mean, we've learned about werewolf lore before, so.
Well, I learned that there used to be pornographic stores where you could like go in the back and watch a movie.
True.
For 35 cents.
That's news to both of us.
All right, Karen, I believe next week's film is your choice then.
It is.
Episode 87 comes out December 21st, Karen. I'm sure it's all full of the Christmas spirit.
Sort of.
Go on.
It is the 1980 movie Christmas Evil.
Christmas Evil from 1980. Any reason you chose this film, Karen?
Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention that we do have an episode coming out Sunday. Another Wicked Ramblings, Karen. All about tarot cards, correct?
Yes, we do. It's a good one, too.
You may hear Karen and I get a live reading.
Yes, a personality reading. And I don't think you'll be surprised by it at all.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Christmas Evil from 1980. Do we have a cocktail?
We do.
And what would that be?
The Santa cocktail.
Santa cocktail. Not the Satan cocktail, the Santa cocktail, right?
That's the one.
Okay. What are we going to need for that, Karen?
2 ounces of grenadine, 2 ounces of vodka, half a cup of cranberry juice, and 1 cup of Sprite, along with some corn syrup, granulated sugar, and maraschino cherries. You want to know how to make it?
Yep.
Start by rimming your glass. Coat the rim in corn syrup and then coat with granulated sugar. Assemble the cocktail by grabbing a cocktail shaker and adding ice. Pour in the grenadine, vodka, juice, and Sprite. Shake lightly. Strain into the rimmed glass. Add a cherry to garnish. Serve and enjoy. If you want to make it pop, add a couple of drops of white food coloring to the corn syrup rimming the glass. When you're on YouTube, I expect you to wear a Santa hat when you make it. Because if you'd like to see all of our cocktails, any or all of our cocktails made, Greg does that on the YouTube channel every week. So they're all there for you to enjoy.
All right. Anyone you need to thank this week, Karen?
I'd like to thank our listener. There's a lot of podcasts out there. Thanks for spending time with us. What about you, Greg?
Karen, I need to thank Degrassi Obsessed Fan on YouTube for subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for subscribing. And I also need to thank the band Verse 13 for providing all the music in the Scary Spirits podcast.
The music does make the podcast better.
Anything else, Karen?
Please drink responsibly.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Scary Spirits podcast, where the movies might be iffy, but the drinks are always solid. We would love to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast, or go to our website, scaryspirits.com. And if you want the direct line, email us at info@scaryspirits.com. If you really want to help us out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And remember, always drink responsibly. See you next week.